Bob McGinn is with us. Good morning, Bob. Welcome. And Mr. Charlie Schroeder, good to see you. Welcome, Jackie. Good to see you.
Morning, everybody. Thank you. Good to see everyone. President Trump has coronavirus.
That'll teach him.
News of the day, hey? I just saw it.
Well, they're just asymptomatic.
So on that note.
Yeah, switch the topic, Mark, hey? Too dangerous.
Good plan.
Welcome to the Rotary Club of St. Albert morning meeting, number 1479, October 2nd, 2020. I'm your host president, Mark Dixon. Shout out to our board members that are present, fellow Rotarians, guests. Please stand for the singing of O Canada. That was awesome. I was particularly impressed with the group at Socrates singing in unison. Inspirational moment this morning. I believe that's you, Daria. Yeah.
I totally missed that part. But I do have, I always have inspirational moment. Most of you know that my husband had a pretty serious heart problem earlier this year, and his surgery went well. And yesterday we celebrated his birthday. So aside from being just, birthday celebration, it made me reflect to the fact how scary it was just a couple of months ago, and how fortunate we are to have him, and appreciate what he does for me, for my family, and just happy to have him. So enjoy every moment. You never know when something can happen. And for us, it was definitely not something that we saw it coming. So that's my inspirational moment for today. Just enjoy every day. Do what you like, spend time with people that you love, and be happy.
Wonderful. So spontaneous and nicely said, Daria.
There you
Well
go.
done. So let's go to introduction of our guests. Daria, we have, I think we have a guest of yours this morning.
Yes, we have Patrick joining us this morning, and he's our presenter. He reached out to our club to share his story and tell us about the organization that he started. I will provide a bit more detailed introduction to him, but for now, just good morning, Patrick, and thank you for joining us.
Welcome, Patrick.
Thank you, Mark.
Do we have guests at Socrates? I don't know. Guests, Socrates? Hello?
Yeah, we've got guests. Sorry, I'm being directed to do different things by different people right now.
Bossing you around, John.
Any boss, yeah.
That never happens.
For guests here, we've got Kathy's two kids. We've got Will and Holly over here. And I've got my two children. We've got Gabe and Susanna in the back corner over there.
Wonderful.
We also have Andre.
Well, we like to share Andre around, so make sure you return him in his original condition. Thank you. And of course, we have Natalia with us this morning. So let us regale them with the welcome song.
Welcome to Rotary, glad you are here. Come shake hands and share a friendly cheer. Whether from near or whether from far, we're glad you're here. We hope that you will like our little song because we're proud of St. Albert, and you'll agree. Our club enjoys some great camaraderie, so we do what we can to help with the needs of our community with our friends at Rotary. With our friends at Rotary.
Love it. Love it. So without further ado, Daria, could you please introduce Patrick?
For sure. Patrick, can you help me with your last name? I don't want to pronounce incorrectly here.
Go for it, Daria. It's Kizehe.
Kizehe? Okay, I thought
Yes.
so, but thank you. So Patrick Kizehe was born in Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, and he fled the Congo into Uganda due to civil war. He's married with 5 children. He earned a degree in social work and has practiced social work in Edmonton, working directly with children and their families. He is an intercultural trainer and founder of Giving Refugees Hope in Uganda, which equips many families with skills to stand back on their feet after losing everything in wars. So Patrick, welcome, and thank you for being with us this morning. I will pass it over to you now.
Thank you so much, Daria. And I'm so glad to be in a group of friends. So 23 years ago, I could never imagine being on a Zoom or never imagine being in Canada, because 23 years ago back in Congo, it was so peaceful. We had no plans. There was no, people lived peacefully. So Congo is bordered with Rwanda and Burundi and Uganda. So Congo was colonized by Belgium, which means most of people who went to school, they speak French and they speak Swahili. So, and there is like almost 43 tribes in Congo, and each tribe speak their own language. But the main common 3 languages is Lingala, French, and Swahili. So where I was born in Eastern Congo. My dad was a traditional chief. And before the war, we lived really very comfortably. When after 1994, the genocide of Rwanda, in Congo, we started having problems. You know, when people speak about racism, normally what comes in our heads, it's between colors. But in Congo, everyone is dark as myself. But the racism is between the tribes. At the end of the genocide in Rwanda, which costed almost 1 million people, the perpetrators, they did free inside Congo. When they arrived in Congo, they did one of the worst things to do. They went into our neighbors, our tribesmen, which were then our neighbors, and they convinced them that we are not true Congolese, that we originate either in Ethiopia, which even my great-great-granddad have never reached there, or we originate from Rwanda or Burundi. So the trouble started from there. By then I was 13 years old. So people started going in Congo, in East Congo. Most of my tribesmen, they are cattle keepers. So people have, like, they always spend their days in farms. As my dad was a traditional chief, one of the things was like acting like a judge. So every time in the evening, I could hear them talking about, oh, it's getting worse, it's getting bad. Maybe we should look the way to free the kids, and the kids leave this and go somewhere else. But as a little person, I didn't think much about it. It was on Wednesday when we are coming from school. For those ones who know, most people in Africa, we love really soccer. Soccer is one of the things which makes us happy. That evening on Wednesday, we had the soccer meeting in the evening. So when I was coming back from school around 4:30, we started hearing gunshots everywhere in our village. So my school and the home which we are living in was like at least like a 10-minute walk, but on walkable distance. We started hearing gunshots coming from east of our home. For people who have traveled in Africa, most homes are fenced. We live in fenced houses for those ones who are able. So we started running going home. At first, actually, one of my friend Jimmy, now he was resettled into US. We are sitting together like coming back from school. He said, Patrick, is it like people celebrating what? Because normally in a celebration, people use just to bust things. So we started running, going into my home. When we reached on a gate, before the gate man opened for us, my aunt came from inside the home and she started saying, let us go, let us go, let us go. Honestly, there was nobody, even myself. I had no clue where to go. But she kept on saying, come, let us go. So we just left and go into the west of our home. She had 3 kids, and I was with my brother Vedast, who lives here in Edmonton, and my aunt lives in Ottawa, and Harriet, who is my sister. So we went just across where we used to live, and there was a little bit of small forest. Behind us, there was my uncle, who was younger than my father. She was shot while we are going inside that small forest. Very chaotic environment. In my head by that time, I had no clue of what was going on. So all what we could just hear up to now, which rings in my head when I think about it, it's like, get them, get them, get them. So we entered into that thing. It was around 5:30. And by 5:30 in Congo, it's getting a little bit darker, a little bit dark. So we stayed there around until 6 or 7. Then the auntie was like, let us go, let us keep on going. So we kept on going. We walked for 4 days because the auntie figured we are going to be walking during the night, and during the day we see where we can be able to hide. So we walked until we reached a place called Uvira. Uvira, it's a small city, which is in another tribe called the Babembe and the Bafrero. So my auntie thought once we reach in Uvira, maybe it would be much safer. Uvira, I'm still talking about, Uvira is in Congo too. So we decided while we were in Uvira, the situation kept on becoming bad. In Interahamwe, which had freed from Rwanda, we are still on the same thread. Up to now, it's just I'm on a Zoom. I still have like the shred of a gunshot here on my legs, which I encountered in Uvira. So the auntie figured, let us go into Uganda in another country. So we we went into the truck, and the truck took us in Uganda. When we reached into Uganda, we thought the problem was done, which was about the security in Uganda. It's a very safe country. From the time which Idi Amin left, from 1979, Uganda have been very peaceful up to today. So when we arrived in Uganda, Uganda is a very different country. One, for them, they were colonized by Britain. which means people who went to school, they speak English and their local language. So remember, back in Congo, we used just to speak about Swahili and French. So the way of food, the way for everything, it was just completely different thing. 2011, when I traveled in India, I felt almost was the same. The only thing which we had in common between the Ugandans and the Congolese, where we are coming from, it was just the color of our skin. All other things was just different. So when you arrive in Uganda, when you're a refugee, it's not like a beautiful country or our beautiful country here in Canada. So they did put us in a settlement, in a refugee camp called the Chakatu refugee camp. Within this camp, when you reach there, they give you 2 machetes, they give you a tent, and they used to give 10 kilogram of beans and 10 kilogram of maize. That's the food for the whole month. As people who have mathematics, my auntie had 6 kids, myself included, almost impossible to be able to feed us. We spent 2 years, me and my brother, because we are a little bit older than other kids. In the evening, we go in the market and help people to load up their groceries. At the end, either they give us something to eat or they pay us some little money. Then we go and buy food and go back home. The first 2 years in Uganda, it was very hard to live. But we kept on going. I still thank my aunt up to today because of how genius she was to make us sustain until for those 2 years. After 2 years, my mom was able to make it into Uganda, and the dad came later. Of course, my mom had lost the young sister, not because of someone have committed a crime, just because of how we look, yet me and you, nobody chooses how we look like. So after 2 years and a half, my dad was able to come into Uganda. When he arrived in Uganda, it was much different. She was able to send someone inside Congo, and he sold one of our house. We came in, our life started changing into Uganda, having more of food, and we moved outside from the refugee camp, because the UNHCR, right now as I'm speaking, there is 1.5 million refugees. 1.5 million refugees in Uganda. Those ones are coming from Somalia. They come from South Sudan and Burundi and Congo. So when they arrive in Uganda, they always put them. I think in Uganda now there is like almost five refugee camps. The camp which I lived in right now as I'm speaking, I think in March of this year, I was there for mission trip. They told us there is 120,000 people. Like really, really many people live in a very compacting way. So in 2008, I got again what I always call a second chance in life. A second chance in life. You know, as my mom used to say, if you don't give up in life, it will always come. The joy is always going to come as long as we keep on pushing whatever you are going through. In 2008, the miracle happened, and I arrived in Ottawa. I was sponsored by one of my cousins who came here earlier. So in Canada, for it was different ball, like really different, in a good way though, compared to Uganda, compared to the Congo, which I was coming from. I started, our government was like able to give us like almost everything for myself to again go back and start the life. As I'm speaking right now, not to show off, but I always say it so just to encourage other people that whatever you may be or whatever you are, either we may have a problem with health or anything, as long as we don't quit, there is always a hope. So when I arrived here, there is one thing which kept on coming in my head. There are other refugees who didn't have a chance, which I had, who didn't have an opportunity to be resettled or to be moved from the refugee camp in a city. We started a ministry called Giving Refugee Hope in Uganda. Myself and all other directors, we have over 10 directors. We are all non-paid. We don't get any payment, so that whatever we get goes direct to the refugees. One of the first thing which really affected me when we arrived in Uganda, it was shoes. As I said, my dad was a traditional chief back in Congo, so we lacked nothing. But the first thing which in the first year, our shoes torn away, and we started walking barefoot. Really hard on the 28 Celsius in Uganda. We started with the shoes project, and we are able to feed people, 250 kids were able to have shoes, which was a really big thing to happen. As I'm speaking right now, this year in March, I did have again an opportunity, because we travel most of the time. I met this young lady, which I think she was also one of my inspiration up to today. Her name is Grace. She used to have 4 kids. I'm just going to put her picture up here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so yes, so I just shared with everybody. So this young lady, she had in 2019, when we are saying about this war, it's unfortunate that the media doesn't catch up what is going on. They always share with us what is happening, whatever, but even as we are speaking right now, in Congo, where I was born, people are being killed because of how they look like. So this lady had 4 kids. Then in November of last year, 2019, her husband was murdered. Then she was forced to come into the camp, into refugee camp in Uganda. But what inspired me from her, when we met her with my friend here, Pastor Hens, she sat with us. We found her in a refugee camp, very desperate. She had nothing, nothing. The 2 kids, the only thing which I could see, it was misery in my eyes. But one thing which she had, which was really better than anybody else which were in the team, she had hope. We provided what we had, which was with mattress. We bought her a mattress and food. Then when we sat into her little shack, a very small one, she told us, I have a hope that these 2 kids which I remain with, they are going to grow up and grow well. I was like, wow. There was nowhere which could support it. She had no houses or savings or anything. But she kept on believing, as long as she doesn't quit, she's going to reach somewhere. As I'm speaking right now, when we came back, we kept on sharing her story. And then, right now, she's living in a house in Kampala with lights like as I'm living here, with everything comfortably. And we added more children. Right now, they're in a first gate in Kampala. when there are 14 of them. This one will take me back in 2002, when we have just arrived in Uganda. There are sometimes like the Rotary clubs, there is sometimes things which you do and you're like, oh yeah, it was good, but you don't really understand the meaning of what you have just done. I really remember, like as if it is yesterday, when we were sitting in that camp and someone came in and gave us money for just like $20, our money here. We are able to buy food. We are able to sustain for like 3-4 days. Up to today, I still remember that impact which made into my life. So this one, I will encourage you, no matter when we go and volunteer, either Salvation Army or volunteer or send help in a food bank, it actually does do a meaning. And I always say one thing, this one thing which I learned. Either way, when we live this life which we are in, there is one thing which me and you, which people are going to remember you of. It's what good you did for others. Not what I owned, not the house which I live in. I always say, you know, there is one thing which I have found here, which is very unfortunate for a person like myself who used to rejoice because I got food. But now, sometime, our brain is, I think, our first enemy sometime. It's just our first enemy. I used to get stressed until now I met this Grace. I was like, I will never do it again. I get stressed about the phone. I didn't pay the phone bill or some little things like very small. Yet, I live in abundance. In abundance. So as long as we keep on pushing, we are going to have progress after progress after progress. There is one other thing here. In 2018, when we go in a mission trip almost every year. On 2018, one of a child who is being sponsored, her name is Sasha. She originates from Burundi. When we visited her family, the little girl looked really sick, really sick. We took her into the nearest medical center in Kampala. We treated her. I think Mary who lives here, he paid like $28. It's really great. We don't know how good we are here in Canada until you travel outside. So they treated the little girl. After like a week, as a parent myself, I said, oh, let me go and again visit the family and see how the kid is doing. We arrived there and her mom started crying. In my head, I was like, did we do something wrong? Was it a cultural thing which happened? What did we do? We sat there like a little bit weird and awkward for like 5 minutes, someone crying when you were a visitor. Then she told us that when they arrived in Uganda, one of the kids whom she brought with the oldest, the Sasha, passed away with the same symptoms. Then we connected why she was crying and weeping. She said if it was not for the organization, maybe Sasha also could have gone. Then when we came back, we said, you know what? We are not going to be sending $20 to everybody who gets sick. Anyway, we are not even going to know about it. We started a medical facility, like an idea of opening up a medical clinic nearby the refugee camp so that people can come and access medical care. You know, there is one thing here. Yesterday I was just joking with people here. I said, you know, we don't know how much our health system it is, because when I get sick right now, I walk inside the clinic, you get out, or I go to the hospital and they get out. I don't know what it means until when they're asking you to pay. So in Uganda, if you are if you have no money, pay that. If you not have the money, then you're going to be left there, because the healthcare is and even in Uganda as a country, they are poor. So all what, without taking much time, because I want to leave some time for the questions someone may have, I want just to leave you with this one word. I know we are into pandemic. People have lost jobs. People are getting sick. But let us not give up. The first enemy of a human being is to give up. That's the thing which the body brings first, is to give up and let it go. But if Grace could not give up, how dare I am, Patrick, who lives Canada, I can be able to give up. If Irene cannot give up, yet she had lost 2 kids, who I am to live? Let us keep on pushing on our goals, and I have no doubt at all that we are going to proceed and reach somewhere. The other thing here, let us keep on doing good to humanity as you have been doing, either to volunteer in a food bank, to help the charities like this. One of the things which we do, if a Rotary Club, like in August last month, I had an opportunity to share the message in the ministry in the US in the Zoom. You know, there is always something good about bad thing happening. Because of this corona thing, most people now we meet on the Zoom, which means we can have an access of different people from different areas. Right now, as I'm speaking, there is a training center which is being constructed for the moms. I have a big respect for mom, because they always make something out of nothing. So we did do, so they have a sewing machine, we have a sewing machine, and the hairstylist, unfortunately, I'm losing my hair. So we have, there is a program which we have, which women go and study, like a 9-month program. By the end of 9 months, they start providing for themselves. Judith, who graduated in 2019, right now she's taking care of 19 kids. One of the ministry which we do, we don't bring anybody outside Uganda. We support them and empower them so that they can be able to provide for themselves. Thank you much. And I want to leave some few minutes so that someone who has a question can ask. I will keep on uploading pictures here. I'll keep on putting on the pictures. So this is where the family lives now. I read that's where they live. That's in Kampala.
Is he screen
That was
Patrick's sharing those to the chat box. So if you click in the chat box, you'll be able to open up those photos.
Oh, okay.
so that picture where everybody is standing around. It's for medical facility which was being constructed. Right, this is where when it was in the middle.
Patrick, can you repeat the name of your organization for everybody?
So it's Giving Refugees Hope in Uganda. Yeah, so I want to take a moment. If there is someone who has a question, please. This is this is where now the medical center is. We have a roofing on. We have the city, and we are excited and hoping to open it up in February of next year if we are able to travel.
That's so exciting. Thank you so much, Patrick, for your presentation. And does anyone have a question for Patrick? Patrick Kizehe?
Patrick, where do your kids go to school? Here in Edmonton or is it St. Albert?
Oh no, I live in a C code.
Oh,
Yeah, I live in a city called in the West End. So they go in a French immersion.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been in Edmonton?
So I have been in Edmonton from 2014. So before then, I used to live in Ottawa,
Okay.
in Ontario.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're doing great work, and your story is very compelling. And most of us in Canada haven't come through anything like that before. So I think your message of hope is really resonates with never giving up.
Thank you, Jackie.
Nicely said, Jackie. Thank you. Questions at Socrates? Anyone there? I don't hear anything. I'm surprised. Well, thank you, Patrick. I think you were very thorough. That's why there aren't any questions. We'll go back to this.
Thank you, Patrick, for coming in.
Thank you, Dalia.
And Patrick, in thanks for your presentation at our meeting today, recognition for your contribution, the St. Albert Rotary Club will be making a donation in your name to the Rotary International Polio Plus program, a worldwide program focused on polio eradication. And we will get this certificate to you after the meeting.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciated that one, Mark, and everybody.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you. Wow.
So some quick reports and announcements. We have our fundraising and events meeting on Monday. We have a board meeting on Tuesday. It's a busy week. Tree planting on the 17th. Doug, I don't know if you want to say anything about this one. I'm guessing no. Club Assembly is coming up on the 22nd, so put that on your calendars. Salvation Army has 2 new commanding officers, Captains Daniel and Bray Rowe. Daniel reached out to me through Emery, through our contact email, and I've invited him to a meeting. Other announcements I see in the chat box, Laszlo, we've sold over 150 flags so far, so wonderful. We're making some great progress there on an excellent program. Any other announcements? Hearing none. Our next morning meeting, our guest speaker is on October 9th, Linda Mall, who's the Chief Disruptor for Accountability by Design. Tune in for that one, and we'll explain it. Birthdays and anniversaries. Charlene's birthday is on the 8th, Charlene Zotenko. Spouse birthdays, Stacy's husband, Sean, is on October 8th as well. Anniversaries, Daryl and Kelly Baker on October 7th, 31 years. Congratulations. And Matt and Leanne Carter on October 8th, 4 years. And date joined Rotary, Mr. Joe Salan on October 4th, it will be 7 years for Joe. And Mr. Craig Mallon on October 8th will be 10 years. So congratulations to everyone. Thank you. And without further ado, Mr. Jean-Carl.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Wonderful, great. Well, it's good to see so many people here at Socrates this morning. We have 11 people plus guests, so that's great. Oh, and I'm getting run over by our waitress. So you know, obviously I've been here enough that she knows she can run me down. All right, let's start off with a bit of Chase the Ace. And so wrong device. Give me 1 second. So Natalia, could you please pick a number for me between 1 and 21? And just so everyone knows, I've scrambled and randomized the numbers again.
17.
You always pick 7.
Oh, man.
That one would be Doug Campbell.
Uh,
So Doug, I'm gonna get you to do me a favor because I realized I left the cards in my car. Okay. They're in the door. Or you can send them in. I'll be your card.
we can't hear what you're saying.
You forgot the cards.
The cards are in my car. We'll set that up in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
I had a lot going on when I came in this morning. No, I'm not giving you my card. Yeah, no. Let's start off this morning. I mean, that was a really inspirational presentation, so thank you for that. But I think we need to start this morning with some positive, happy bucks, some happy things from our members. So let's start there this morning. What do we have?
I guess I'll kick it off with happy bucks for Kelly tolerating me for 31 years as of next week. So I'll throw those in.
Good call. Smart man.
Hello, over here. I'd like to also happy bucks to Keldar Leadership. Daryl and Kelly and team got nominated for the Business to Business Award for the Chamber this year. So shout out to those guys. As well to Mr. Gallant. Mr. Gallant was amazing last weekend. He came and delivered one of Karina's rocks that she picked in the summer in a backhoe, no less. He came up the backyard and enjoyed some cinnamon rolls afterwards, but big thanks out to doing that. And nice social distancing there at Socrates, by the way, guys. Great masks. It was looking very good.
Thanks, David.
They're allowed. Okay, we had.
We can't hear you.
Just speaking here.
Yeah, just
okay.
Talk to the Zoom.
We had a great tournament last for Alberta, and looks like we raised about $15,000 for Inclusion Alberta. So thanks to Rotarians who participated in that deal.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Doug Campbell, come on up.
I have great news. I will be getting my car back today, which has been fully fixed and detailed. So if you ever need your car done like that, just get it stolen. Oh, hey, before I go, for longtime Rotarians, I want to let you know that here today we have Neil and Elaine Meacham, who used to be members of our club. They're just sitting behind us, came in for breakfast. I know that people like Anita would know them. So just saying hi to that over there.
Any other happy bucks? What do we got? Going once? I can, guys, I've got like half an hour here I can fill with fines. So you might want to get busy with some happy stuff.
Do it.
We'll get your cards.
We'll get to them last. All right, well, some fines I've got to toss out here. I'm going to start with Robert Gallant, just because. Okay. That's when I walked in this morning. I thought, I need to fine him. So, yeah. I'm also going to throw a fine at both Craig and Joe. Happy anniversary to Rotary. Yeah. So, yeah, it's great to have you here. Let's see, who else do we have here? I had a couple I really wanted to get, but is Jill on? I don't see her. No. Yeah, all the people I had fines for have either done happy bucks or have already or are not in attendance. So congratulations, guys. I actually have very little to hit you with this morning. So I could just spend the morning finding Doug. But you know what, Mark? That's all I have. So let's get on to the final draw of the card here. And yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to pull the ace of spades out, so there is a chance that Doug will win. Sorry about that, everybody. But
All right, I need a new set of tires. A new set of tires. New set of tires.
oh God. 7 of clubs.
7 o'clock.
He didn't win.
Whew.
Doug always wins. So even when he gets his car stolen, he wins. So, all right, with that, I'm all done. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please remember, we are on social media. This is how we get our messages out. If you have messages to share, please send them to myself or Emery. We will share those out, but look for us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all of these meetings, as you know, are recorded on YouTube on our channel. Here's a new thing, Rotarians in the news. Don't know if you saw Michael Cooper's flyer, but make sure you check that one out. It's the end of summer update. Mr. Monson has an ad in. We've got a nice teacher of the month. And Alan, appreciate your articles always and your COVID updates that you send out. So thank you for that. So thank you for everybody who presented, participated today. Patrick, Kizehe for your presentation. Daria for your last minute spontaneous inspirational moment. Thank you for that. John Carl, Sergeant at Arms, Natalia, our guests, fellow Rotarians. And remember, if you need support in these difficult times, make sure you reach out to your club members. Lynn King is our caring coordinator, so she is there for you as well. And there are many, many online resources, lots of great content at the City of St. Albert website, Help in Tough Times. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And if you will join me, please, in the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Will it be fun? Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Everybody, have a great day.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you, Patrick.